Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a really brief but super visual journey into something we all recognize, but honestly, we rarely actually observe it. We're going to step into the garden and look closely, really closely, at the morning dew, the vibrant colors, and the hidden structures of the resilient bloom of the rose.
So, what can a simple rose teach us about survival? It's kind of a fascinating question, isn't it? We usually just think of them as pretty gifts or, basic garden decor. But as you'll see today, the physical traits of a rose are actually these profound, almost perfect metaphors for human resilience, the necessity of boundaries, and the reality of carrying heavy burdens.
Okay, let's dive into this. Lesson 1. The wisdom of thorns and unapologetic defenses. Just look closely at the stem. A rose doesn't hide its defenses, does it? It wears these sharp, curved thorns right out in the open. They're literally designed to protect the flower from anyone who might grab it carelessly. And the really beautiful thing here is that the rose never, ever apologizes for protecting itself.
Which brings us to this absolutely crucial lesson. Softness without boundaries is vulnerability without protection. The rose proves you don't have to harden your heart to survive. You can be stunning, vibrant, and incredibly soft, while at the exact same time being totally unapproachable to careless hands.
Moving right along to lesson 2, unfolding takes patience, layer by layer.
So going from that sharp exterior to the very deliberate internal pacing of the flower, a rosebud absolutely refuses to be rushed. It opens up so slowly, revealing its heart just one single petal at a time, and only when it's biologically ready. If you try to force those petals open with your hands before it's time, you will completely destroy the bloom. Trust your timing. Depth takes patience. Not everyone deserves access to your center. This slow unfolding perfectly mirrors our own deeply human need to protect our inner core. It is perfectly fine to let others patiently earn their access to you.
Next up, lesson 3. Growth requires ruthless pruning, cutting the dead branches.
And this brilliantly illustrates a wild paradox in nature. To get those beautiful blooms, you actually need a harsh blade. The more you cut away the old dead branches, the more fiercely that rose is going to bloom. Snipping away the dead stuff is literally what stimulates all that vibrant new life.
It's a really hard-hitting truth, but we need to hear it. Painful cuts are often the gateway to new growth. Letting go of those dead branches in our own lives, the habits, relationships, or situations that just aren't serving us anymore, it hurts. But making room by cutting those away is the necessary gateway to your own new growth.
All right, lesson 4, carrying the impossible weight, the unbreakable stem.
Now, what's really interesting here is visualizing a massive, heavy blossom bowing toward the ground. Think about the number 1. Just one single stem is responsible for carrying an impossible weight. It supports this immense, heavy beauty, bowing under all that pressure. But remarkably, it manages to hold on without snapping. Carrying beauty, or just carrying the heavy burdens of life in general, can be completely exhausting. But remember this, your stem is stronger than your bloom. Bend, but don't break. Your internal structure is quite literally designed to weather the pressure. You might bow toward the ground under the weight of it all, but you are built to withstand it. Which brings us to our final takeaway, lesson 5, your most powerful offering, the fading scent. Let's look at how this builds to the sensory peak of the rose's life cycle, right before it withers. You'd probably think a rose is done once its colors start to dull, right? But that's actually when something incredible happens. The fragrance is inexplicably released most intensely at the very peak of the bloom, and sometimes even more intensely as the petals start drying up and dropping away. Your most powerful offering often comes in your final season. Don't count yourself out when you feel like you're near the end. Just like that fading scent of the rose, your greatest impact might still be yet to come. So I'm going to leave you with this thought to ponder today. What inner dead branches are you holding on to right now, and what impossible beauty might bloom if you finally let them go? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.